Right, time now for our editorial on the comprehensive sexuality education policy.
Let's talk about sex. I mean sex education. This will not excite you, but stimulate further debate and conversation. Throughout a greater part of last week and this week, the comprehensive sexuality education policy has dominated the news headlines. It has generated mass hysteria and a lot of fury. The debate was sparked after the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana revealed on Joy FM that children as young as 5 were going to be taught in-depth sexual issues, including masturbation, gender neutrality, among others, under the revised policy. Many fiercely opposed it, including parents and the clergy.
That one will not help, because at the age of 5 years, and you are going to teach that child sex education, it won't help. It's very bad.
We, the Ghana Pentecostal Charismatic Council, we are totally opposed to it. None of our teachers will teach that. We will walk our children out, and any government who will promote it, it will be a tool for him to walk out.
The whole concept is new and very unfamiliar to our environment, and it's also in conflict with our traditions, even in terms of our religious diversity. There are certain virtues we hold in common.
But there were several others who found absolutely nothing wrong with the proposed topics.
Classroom is a controlled environment, right? So it's the best place to learn these stuff. Because I know for sure that parents are not willing to do it. Because our generation, some parents, but our generation never got to sit down with our parents to talk about the birds and the bees. So if the educational system can find a way in a controlled manner to get these important facts to the kids, we should be applauding it.
Now, social media was inundated with raging debates on the matter, especially after some people began circulating pictures describing the genitals which the children were supposedly going to be taught. We now know it wasn't part of the curriculum, as government officials insisted it was not included in the teacher starter pack. Even before government came out to counter the various claims, people had already formed their own opinions. But the dust has not yet settled on this particular issue. And in any case, this debate is not restricted to Ghana. In Jamaica, Mexico, Canada, and even in South Africa, parents and educational experts have risen against it.
This is definitely an attack. It will affect your child rearing. It will affect your education system.
It is pornography. Men, especially on the House floor, did not want to look at. We couldn't show this on the television news, but yet we want our 4th grade children to be looking at this book.
So granted, many people are uncomfortable with the topics that will supposedly be introduced to the young children. Others argue that it is in the children's own interest to be given this knowledge. But our focus today is not whether this is right or wrong, because like it or not, the debate on this matter will continue to rage. So rather, our focus is on the Minister for Education, Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, and how he has handled this matter thus far. I want you to pay attention to this particular video of the minister in January this year, when the comprehensive sexuality education curriculum was launched.
We in Ghana have a guideline that I've shared with you, that we see it as imperative, if this nation should develop, that sexuality education should be part of the curricula that we would launch this year in September, all the way from kindergarten to senior high school.
This was in January this year, and as you heard him, the policy was going to be rolled out in September. He extolled the virtues of this new policy, but just this Tuesday, this was what he had to say.
The curriculum that has been developed out of the framework for use by Ghana Education Service in all public schools and approved by Cabinet and as published does not include comprehensive sexuality education.
So which one should we believe? This?
Sexuality education should be part of the curricula that we would launch this year in September.
Or this?
The curriculum that has been developed out of the framework for use by Ghana Education Service in all public schools and approved by Cabinet and as published does not include comprehensive sexuality education.
So you see where the confusion is coming from? Why all hell has broken loose on this particular matter? It's because our politicians are taking us for a ride. They think very little of us. It's not the contradictions that bothers me. It's the insult to our intelligence that I find extremely offensive. If you intend to introduce CSE, come clean, talk about it, consult, and ensure there's consensus on this policy, and most importantly, tell us the truth. But you can't say one thing and mean another. And this is what gives politics a bad name. Yes, the minister has backtracked and conceded that it was being considered, and he insists that as we speak, Cabinet has not approved it. That gives us some solace. But I want our leaders to remember this quote from George Lichtenberg. The most dangerous untruths are truths moderately distorted. Just come clean.